What happens when a Hollywood heartthrob's carefully guarded secrets get exposed on live television? The answer might shock you. Before we dive into this incredible story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you think really happened here. The Kelly Clarkson Show had always prided itself on creating a warm, welcoming atmosphere where celebrities could relax, laugh, and open up about their lives. For years, Kelly Clarkson had built her reputation on exactly that, being the host who cared, who listened, who never crossed the line. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. That morning felt no different at first. The lights were bright, the audience was buzzing, and the mood was upbeat as today's guest made his entrance. Taylor Kitsch walked onto the set with that familiar confidence, rugged charm, effortless smile, the kind that cameras loved instantly. From his breakout role on Friday Night Lights to the intense performances that followed, he had become one of Hollywood's most dependable leading men. The applause was loud and genuine as he waved and took his seat. Kelly greeted him warmly, joking about how great he looked, asking how he'd been, and tossing in playful compliments that had the audience laughing. Everything about the exchange felt natural, two professionals, doing what they did best. But then the tone subtly shifted. Kelly leaned forward just a little, her voice casual, almost careless, and asked about Taylor's personal life. He responded politely at first, saying he was focused on work and excited about upcoming projects. But when the questions kept coming about whether there was someone special, his smile flickered. It was barely noticeable, but it was there. He laughed lightly, insisted he preferred keeping his private life private, and tried to steer the conversation back to work. The audience murmured with interest, leaning into the moment. Something about it had changed, though. The playful mood began to drain from the room, replaced by a fragile tension you could almost feel in your chest. Kelly nodded, smiled, and then dropped the line that would change everything. She mentioned rumors. Taylor stiffened, his hands tightening around the chair arms. His posture no longer relaxed but guarded. Viewers at home might not have seen it clearly, but in the studio, the energy snapped. This was no longer just an interview. It was the moment everything started to unravel. Kelly continued, saying she'd heard from a reliable source that Taylor might be seeing someone well-known in the industry. The words landed heavily, and the audience fell quiet. Taylor's jaw clenched, his expression now controlled but clearly strained. He responded evenly, asking where such information was coming from and making it clear he wasn't comfortable discussing his relationships on television. Kelly tried to soften it with a laugh. But then came the fatal sentence. She hinted that the person in question was married. The room froze. There were no laughs this time, no nervous applause, just silence. Taylor's face changed instantly, confusion flashing across his features before melting into anger. His voice dropped, calm but dangerous, as he asked what exactly she was implying. Kelly hesitated, but the damage was already done. Then she said the name. She mentioned seeing him out with Margot Robbie, describing a dinner that looked, in her words, more than professional. A visible shockwave moved through the room. Taylor stood up, so suddenly his chair rolled backward. Gasps rippled through the crowd. His voice rose, no longer controlled, accusing Kelly of dragging a married woman's name into gossip, based on paparazzi photos taken out of context. Kelly tried to interject, claiming she was just asking questions, just giving him a chance to clear things up. But to Taylor, it didn't feel like a chance, it felt like a trap. And he told her so. He accused her of ambushing him for ratings, of valuing rumors more than truth. The audience sat frozen, unsure if they were watching live television or the end of someone's career. Kelly's producers waved frantically from behind the cameras, but no one dared interrupt. Taylor's voice shook as he defended Margot's reputation, calling the implications unfair, irresponsible, and cruel. Kelly attempted to apologize, but the words sounded thin even to her own ears. He wasn't finished. He demanded accountability, demanded to know where her so-called source was. And in that moment, her hesitation said more than any answer ever could. The silence that followed stretched painfully long, exposing not only the weakness of her claim, but the gravity of what she had unleashed. Then came the truth. Taylor admitted he had been photographed with Margot. Yes, but not because of an affair. He explained they were working together on a film project, one he was producing and starring in, backed by her company. The dinner had been business. Professional. legitimate. His words drained the color from Kelly's face. The realization hit hard. She had just accused her guest of something explosive on live television, based on assumption, not proof. She tried again to apologize, stammering, saying she didn't know about the project. But for Taylor, that only made it worse. He shot back, asking why he should have had to reveal confidential business deals just to defend himself from a rumor she decided to air. Without warning, he accused her of risking a multi-million-dollar project, of humiliating him and another innocent person for the sake of juicy television. Kelly suggested editing the segment out, starting over, pretending it never happened. And that's when his anger shifted into something colder, sharper. He told her it wasn't about editing, it was about ethics, about professionalism, about human decency. Kelly fired back that she was just doing her job. He rejected that entirely, saying his career wasn't fuel for her content machine, and his personal life wasn't public property. The audience sat in stunned silence as Taylor dismantled her defense piece by piece, accusing her of hiding behind a friendly image while practicing tabloid journalism. Kelly finally stood, no longer the composed host, but a woman under siege, telling him he had no right to attack her character. His reply cut clean through the room. He said he wasn't attacking anything, only describing exactly what everyone could already see. Kelly insisted she had a trusted source. Taylor challenged her to prove it, to call them live on air. She couldn't. Her hesitation was all the answer the room needed. The weight of that moment was unbearable. Her argument collapsed inward, leaving only embarrassment and dread in its place. Taylor spoke again, quieter now, but no less intense. He said if she had simply asked about his work from the beginning, he would have gladly shared what they were building. Instead, she chose to chase gossip instead of truth. Kelly mumbled that audiences wanted this kind of content, that it was part of celebrity culture. Taylor snapped back that entertainment shouldn't come at the cost of destroying real people's lives. He pointed out that Margot would now face whispers. Her husband would face questions, all because of a story Kelly decided to craft without evidence. Her shoulders slumped as the words sank in. She admitted she hadn't thought about it that way. Taylor's response was blunt. She hadn't thought about it at all. To him, people like her didn't see humans, only headlines, only material. When she tried again to defend herself, he raised his voice, asking what was fair about being ambushed, about tarnishing someone else's marriage on live TV. No one in the audience moved. Some looked away. Others stared in disbelief. A few quietly held their phones up, knowing instinctively this was a moment that would explode across the internet. Finally, Kelly whispered that the interview should end. Taylor scoffed, saying it was convenient to end things only after the damage was done. She insisted she never wanted this outcome. He challenged that, asking whether drama wasn't exactly what she'd been fishing for all along. Then, slowly, deliberately, he removed his microphone. The sound of the clip snapping free echoed in the studio like a final bell. He dropped it on the floor. He turned to the audience, apologizing for what they'd had to witness, telling them they deserved better than manufactured scandal. Then, without another glance back, Taylor Kitsch walked off the set. Kelly remained standing behind her desk in silence, her show, her authority, and her carefully built image all cracked wide open in less than 10 minutes. The cameras rolled on, capturing the aftermath no one could edit away. So now the question is yours. What really pushed Taylor over the edge? The accusation itself, the lack of accountability, or the realization that trust meant nothing on a stage built for ratings?